Hi and welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Bethany Davidson, the Humane Educator here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. We're changing things up a little bit for our first guest. Instead of having Tammy wrangle Miss Sheba, she's being wrangled, if you will, by her foster mom, who is our assistant kennel supervisor, Ruth. And Sheba came to us in January when the health of her owner was declining. They were unable to keep her, and they brought her here to us. And Sheba is a very special dog. She's very nervous. She's very fearful. She's afraid of, strangers and loud noises. So she's really looking for a very special owner to take her on, who's full of patience and love and understanding, who can really commit to working with Sheba to show her that the world is not such a scary place. Sheba is only about 2 years old, and she is a Corgi Chihuahua mix. And initially, she's going to be very nervous around new people. So if you're looking to meet with Sheba, I would suggest meeting with her multiple times, not just coming in and hanging out with her once and saying, yeah, this is the dog I want, or no, this isn't the dog I want. She's really going to take some time to warm up to you. So if you think that you're interested in her, definitely make the effort to make multiple visits to the shelter. Once she gets to know you, she will sit on your lap. She's very nervous right now in a new situation with new people, but she'll cuddle up on Ruth's lap. She loves Ruth. She comes to the office every day. She likes to go on her walks, but she's very routine oriented. She likes to sit in her little, it's not really a crate, it's a little X-pen with a cover. She feels safe in there. She really likes that. She likes to play with her tennis balls, and she does a little bit of fetching action. But she also just has a few behavioral quirks that you're really going to need to accept Sheba for what she is. Because of her nervousness and some of her little quirks, she really needs an adult-only home. So somebody who maybe is dog savvy, who understands body language and can learn what Sheba's trying to say. And definitely, kids that aren't going to be loud and running around and getting in her face and making her feel more nervous. Because some dogs will react out of fear, and we don't want to put Sheba in a situation where A, she's fearful, and B, where she needs to react out of fear. So if you are interested in getting to know Sheba, you can visit her here at Frederick County Animal Control. Because she does live in a foster home, I would encourage you to call first. She's here most days, but just to make sure, you can call the shelter at 301-600-1546. And Tammy's back with us now with Wally, and Wally is a beagle. He's a senior dog at about 8 years old. He came to us because he wasn't enjoying life with some small children. He had only been living in the home for about 2 months. So they got the dog from a friend, so I'm not sure exactly, what the situation was there. So now he's here and he's looking for a new chance at forever. Because he has previously shown himself not to be a fan of kids, we are looking for an adult-only home for Wally. The previous owner saying that, he does some beagle-y, houndy things. He is a roamer and a wanderer, and they follow their nose, and that's what they do. So if you are looking for a dog that's not easily distracted, then a hound's probably not what you're looking for. And he is also a chaser, likes to chase other animals and things like that. Our behavior assessment has shown that this guy is a little shy at first, but ultimately he's a very sweet dog. He's very friendly when you approach his kennel. When he's in the kennel and other dogs are walking past, he reacts favorably. He does take a little bit of time to get him out of the kennel because he's a little shy, so he needs to develop some trust with his handler. He's a little nervous when he's walking. He can lag behind his handler, but then he is also a puller and he bounces back and forth, so he just really doesn't have necessarily a lot of confidence, and also he just has never been taught that polite leash walking. So those are things that he would need to work on. And it's not, you can train a dog no matter the age. You just have to find the right incentive, the right reward for them. He doesn't have issues with food aggression. They were unable to test him for object guarding because he wasn't interested in the toys that they were providing him. He liked and enjoyed being petted. He did typical things, you know, resisting when handling his feet in his mouth, but nothing too serious. He has shown himself to be very happy, very friendly. He's almost always got a smile on his face. He's been very quiet here, which is not something that I can often say about the hounds that we get in. So he's just a dog that maybe is a bit misunderstood, who just needs somebody to provide him with some basic tools so that he can be a great family pet. Because he's a senior, he will go home for that reduction in his adoption fee. So he will go home for $72.50 instead of our normal $92.50 adoption fee. If you're interested in Wally, you can visit him here at the shelter. We are open to the public 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. If you're a fan of dogs who are a little bit bigger, then we have Cambria for you. She's about 3 to 4 years old. She's a Rottweiler. She came to us as a stray. So we don't have any owner information about her, but we've quickly found out that she's an amazing dog, and quite frankly, we can't understand why she hasn't already been snapped up. She hasn't been with us for very long, just since the 29th of March. And we found out some great things about Cambria. Just from a medical standpoint, one of the things that we did also figure out, though, however, is that she has some broken teeth from old injuries. So anyone who's adopting her may need to get those the roots and the remnants of those broken teeth extracted, just for her, you know, safety, making sure that they're not going to get infected or you know, cause further damage or anything like that. Cambria has not been spayed yet, so we will make sure that she gets spayed before she leaves here. All of our cats, dogs, and rabbits are spayed or neutered before they leave. That is part of their adoption fee. Things that we found out about Cambria during her behavior assessment: she keeps her kennel clean. However, you never want to assume that a dog that you get from us is housebroken. She's very friendly. She's very excited. She reacts favorably to other dogs walking past her with a calm demeanor, or, you know, or you know, tail wagging. She's very interested, or she has no reaction at all. She's not bothered by them. She can be a little difficult to get out of her kennel in that she's just so excited. She's jumping up and she just wants to go out and hang out with you. So she can also be difficult to walk. She's been pretty good lately, but just excited, pulling, jumping. So just as with Wally, working on that polite leash walking will be really important. No issues with food aggression, willingly lets go of objects, and as is quite evident, she loves attention. So she loves to be petted and handled with people. There was a family looking at her the other day, and she was running around to all the kids. She was playing ball with them. She was just you know, soaking up all the attention and just being a big goofball. But you want to make sure that, you know, at about 60 pounds that you can handle this much dog. So if you're interested in Cambria, you can stop in and visit with her here. Our address is 1832 Rosemont Avenue, and the adoption fee for adult dogs like Cambria is $92.50. This next guy is Chuy, and this is not his first day with us. Unfortunately, Chuy's had a rough go of it, and it's important for people to know when you're taking on an animal that they aren't disposable. They aren't for a little bit. They are a commitment for the lifetime of that animal. So just because, you know, if you think that you're going to get to a point where you just don't want to take care of it anymore, then maybe a pet isn't for you. You know, you have to be committed to them for their entire lives. And with small dogs like Chuy and young dogs at only 1.5 years, that's going to be a long time. So unfortunately, Chuy has been surrendered to us twice. The first time, it was because they said they don't want to take care of it anymore. And then more recently, it just says can't keep it. There was no other reason given. So Chuy's back here with us, where we are hoping that we're going to find him a super special home this time, where they are going to be committed to him for his entire life. Chuy is a terrier mix. He's a tan in color. He is a little overweight. He put on some pounds in his last home, so he needs to go on a bit of a diet and exercise plan. I said when I saw him, I was like, Chuy got chunky. So working with him on that, and then understanding that Chuy is a bit of a shy dog as well. So when you initially approach him, he can be a little, he can walk away from you, be a little more timid, but once he gets to know you, he is a total love, and it doesn't really take that long. You just have to not force yourself on him and show him that you are a safe person, and you know, not be super overpowering or overbearing and hovering over them when they're shy like that. Because he is a little bit of a shyer dog, we are looking for children to be 10 and up for his new home, so that he doesn't have to be worried about being afraid. We don't want him to be in a situation where he's going to be uncomfortable. But you can learn much more about Chuy by reading his profile and behavior assessment. All of those things are required to be read by potential adopters before visiting with a dog. So if you are interested in the super sweet Chuy, you can come and read his profile and meet him here at 1832 Rosemont Avenue. Our last dog is Wiggle, and she is basically 50 pounds of cute. And she is another dog that has come a long way since she arrived at the shelter in the end of February. So first off, let's talk about the cute factor. Wiggle has the cutest little nose, and she's got this little mohawk calic thing on the top of her head. She's got a little nub tail that just constantly is wiggling, which is, you know, part of how she got her name. She's always wiggly when she gets to know you. But at first, she's very nervous. So you have to really, again, take time. She's going to be an easier dog than, say, Sheba, but you do have to take the time to get to know her and make her feel comfortable with you, excuse me. So we're working on that with, you know, how she feels comfortable in the kennel, with having people who pass by her give her little bits of food so that she starts to have a positive association with people. And she is doing remarkably well in the time that she's been here with us. We've had a lot of volunteers and staff who've been very dedicated to getting her this far, and now we feel that she's ready for a home. So because of the things that she's afraid of, we're looking for children that are 10 and up. So there's not a lot of fast movements, loud noises that are going to freak her out and make her possibly react out of fear. So that's going to be very important, you know, making sure that people in the home know that she's afraid of those things. And the other thing about Miss Wiggle is that she's basically like the Spider-Man of dogs. So she can get out of tall enclosures. She can climb. She climbed over Tammy and was trying to get over that wall just in the time that we've been filming. So she is in a kennel that has a closed top to it, so she cannot climb out of her kennel. And we have to kind of be very specific with her, you know, outdoor play time so that she cannot climb out of the play yard and get loose. So if you're thinking of taking her and making her part of your family, and you think you can just let your dog out in the backyard if it's fenced, that's not going to be the case with Miss Wiggle. She's going to need to be supervised all the time when she's outside in your yard, even if it is fenced. And then chain link is going to be especially easy for her to climb out of. So that's going to wrap it up for this portion of the show. We hope that you've enjoyed meeting some of our adoptable dogs. After the break, we are going to introduce you to a bunch of our golden girls here at the shelter, some of our cats that are over the age of 5.
Do you know about the Nature Academy and the Museum Academy for ages 6 and under in Frederick County? At Nature Academy, you can explore the sounds, sights, and smells of nature at the Fountain Rock Park and Nature Center. At the Museum Academy at Rose Hill Manor, you'll have fun with numbers, colors, shapes, letters, and more. You will participate in crafts like painting and stamping, learn sign language in daily songs and play, and have a lot of fun understanding the history of where we live. New this fall is Little Hands Cooking, a cooking series that the little chefs are super excited about. They will be preparing recipes and learning culinary skills, nutrition, and literature. For information on how to register, please call 301-600-2936 or visit recreator.com. Come cook, explore, and craft with us.
The Frederick County Sheriff's Office now offers fingerprinting services 3 days per week, from Tuesday through Thursday. Our goal is to make it more convenient for citizens to have fingerprints taken for employment, licenses, permits, and other important issues like adoption and child care services. The Sheriff's Office will continue to accept credit and debit cards, checks, and money orders as payment for fingerprint fees. Cash is not accepted. For more information, contact the Fingerprint Information Line at 301-600-4058.
Welcome back. As spring and summer, come into full, we are going to see a large number of kittens coming into the shelter with kitten season. And unfortunately, when we get all those kittens in, older cats on the adoption floor get overlooked. So today we're going to be spotlighting some of our golden girls. So all of the cats on the show today happen to be females, and they are all in that 7 to 8 year old range. First up is Sammy, and Sammy is about 7 years old. She's a brown tabby, and she is a return to shelter, so she has been adopted from us back in fiscal year 2015. She was adopted from us, and Sammy was brought to us because apparently she didn't care so much for her owner, but she liked other people. So we're hoping that we can find her other people that she will like as well. It says that she's independent, she's playful. We found here in the shelter that she's a little bit on the shy side. It's a scary environment, so just being patient and letting them get used to new people. But she's doing great with the volunteers. They're really enjoying spending time with her. What you're seeing right now is that there was a loud noise when the door shut, and she was nervous and backed up a little bit about that. It says that she does claw on the couch, but during our adoption interviews, we go over all kinds of strategies to help our new adopters figure out how to change and modify any behavior that they might enjoy. So they might dislike, excuse me. So for cats, it's going to be strategies to keep them from scratching furniture, climbing curtains, strategies for keeping them off the counter. We'll go over all of that stuff with you. Basically, as long as you're providing them with adequate things and showing them what they're supposed to do, shouldn't really have a lot of issues there. So Sammy, again, just a little shy, but definitely warming up as our volunteers continue to work with her. Because she is a senior, she would get a reduction in her adoption fee. So it's going to be $20 off for animals that are 5 to 9. So she would go home for $77.50. This is Lily, and Lily's been on the show before, but she's just so sweet that I thought it would be great to give her another chance to show off how affectionate and awesome she is. Lily's about 9, and she came to us previously owned. She was brought in because they said that she was fighting with the other cats, the male cats in the house. So I'm not sure what the situation is there. They had her basically her entire life. So I'm not sure whether the cats are new or what that situation was. She hasn't been hissing or growling necessarily at any of the other cats that she can see on the adoption floor. But proper integration in a multi-pet household is really important. And we will go over how to integrate a new cat in with another cat, multiple other cats, a new dog. We'll go over all of that stuff during your adoption interview, which is part of the process to take home an animal from animal control. Lily's been around children of all ages. She's a little shy, which we've seen here. You're able to handle her. She's calm and friendly. They say that she's a lap cat. She hasn't had a lot of exposure to lap time here, but she has definitely shown that she loves affection. One of the things that we have realized very quickly, when she came in, she was a little matted. She needed a brushing. So we did that, and that seems to be basically her most favorite thing in the world, is to be brushed. You can brush Lily all day long and she will be perfectly content with that. So that's something that she really enjoys. She starts to purr, she rolls over, she shows you her belly. She just gets really excited at the prospect of having that happen. And if you pull the brush away from her, she kind of will nuzzle her head into it and say, hey, no, I want you to brush me some more. She is a little bit chatty. She will, talk to you and say, hey, I'm here. But she's not as outgoing as some of the other cats on the adoption floor, which that combined with her age and the fact that she's a black cat and she's a little overweight is affecting, people not necessarily wanting to take her home and make her part of the family. But if you have it in your heart to adopt one of these sweet seniors, you can visit Lily here at Animal Control. Our address is 1832 Rosemont Avenue. This beautiful girl is Midnight, and she's about 8 years old. Black cats in the shelter and rescues in general have a harder time getting adopted for a couple of reasons. Number one, they are hard to see. I mean, in dark cages like ours that are stainless steel, they don't necessarily pop out at you. Other reasons include there's less things about them that make them stand out. Cats with color patterns and things, they're just more striking visually. They jump out at you. And then there are also things like superstitious reasons, but those aren't as important as just it's hard for them to stand out and make themselves unique in an environment where there are so many cats. Right now we have about 40 cats living here at the shelter right now, so it's definitely been a little bit of a struggle for Midnight to stand out, especially given the fact that she's also a senior at 8 years old. Midnight came to us when the husband who had previously been caring for a cat was no longer able to care for that anymore, and the wife was unable to continue doing that because of allergy reasons. So Midnight came to the shelter where we've been looking to find her another home. If memory serves, she did come in with another cat, so she has lived in a home with other cats before, so that shouldn't be an issue. Things that we found out about her, obviously she's a little shy, a little more reserved, but she's doing pretty well since I brought her out. She doesn't really like to be picked up, but now that she's sitting comfortably on a lap, she seems to be fairly content. So she's one of those cats that we do ask that you interact with her in her cage just because she doesn't like to be picked up and carried around. So something to keep in the back of your mind if that's the type of animal you're looking for, maybe Midnight's not going to be a good fit for you. She would also be adopted for that senior adoption fee of $77.50. And you can visit Midnight or any of the animals that you've seen on the show today by coming here to the shelter. Our visitation hours are Monday, Tuesday, and Friday from 10 to 5, Wednesday and Thursday from 12 to 8, and Saturday from 10 to 4. This is Tabby. Tabby came in the beginning of February with another cat named Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell has since been adopted, but 7-year-old, Tabby is still looking for her forever home. And it was actually a good thing for Tinkerbell to get adopted because they were sharing a cage space and they liked hanging out with each other, but it seemed like Tinkerbell was the more dominant cat in their relationship. And since she's been gone, Tabby's really come out of her shell. She's definitely started coming up to the front of her cage more, interacting with the public more, and just showing off what an amazing pet she's going to be. So hopefully now that she's showing her true self, she'll be able to find a home relatively quickly as well. Things that we know about Tabby. She is a cat that loves to play. People talk about, a senior cat's not going to be that playful. Not true. Tabby here apparently likes to play fetch with twisted up pipe cleaners, so bread ties and pipe cleaners and things like that she's really going to enjoy. We've also noticed that she loves to play in her water bowl, so if you see a little puddle on the floor outside of her cage, that's why she likes to play in that. And if you were to adopt Tabby, they do make toys so that animals that enjoy playing with water can play with them a little bit more. We have some of them here, so sometimes we pass those out to animals who enjoy that type of play. She was brought to us through no fault of her own. The situation for where they could live ultimately changed for the person, and if the person's having trouble finding suitable housing for themselves, it makes it even doubly hard when you have pets to care about as well. They do say that she is a little bit on the shy side, but she's definitely coming out of that shell here in the shelter. She's been around small animals like guinea pigs and things like that before, other cats and children of all ages. So hopefully there's not going to be too much that's going to deter Tabby. She's color-coded orange, which means she's individually average. We've not seen any things that come up that would make her unsuitable for any home. She could probably go and live in any home and be perfectly happy. If you were interested in Tabby, you can stop by and visit her here at the shelter. Our address is 1832 Rosemont Avenue. If you wanted to inquire about any animal before making the trip in, you can always give us a call. It's a 301-600-1546. The last cat that we have for you today is an interesting mix of a cat. She is a black Siamese mix, and she definitely has the vocal prowess of a Siamese cat. She likes to talk. She's very chatty. Cadia is about 7 years old, and she has spent the last 4 months in foster care. And the reason that she was in foster care for so long was because she came into the shelter with wounds of unknown origin. So when we think that those wounds are from a bite, and we don't know what animal that could possibly be from, we don't have any history, it's possible that the animal that bit and the one that's here with us could have been rabies positive. So in order to keep these animals, we have to quarantine them for 4 months if we don't know what their vaccine history is. And since we didn't have any medical history for Cadia, that's what we did. So we put her in quarantine for 4 months, where she was only able to be handled by one person in a small space, just in case she did turn out to be sick. But since she's not, she's finished her quarantine and she's come back to the shelter and is looking for a forever home. She has a nice write-up by her foster mom that says she liked looking out the window, she loved to cuddle and rub up against your arms and legs, she wanted to talk, which we've already seen today, she likes to sit in comfy beds, she likes playing catch with small cat toys, and sometimes she'd even toss them back. She likes to play with the ball with the circle scratch pad. She liked those things. She liked wands and dangly toys. She's super playful even at age 7. She was always using her litter box. She's used to getting her nails trimmed. So she's just a cat that's going to cuddle up on your lap and play with you. She's a good mix of the best of both worlds. But if you're looking for a quiet cat, maybe Cadia is not going to be the best mix for you, because Siamese just in general are very vocal cats. They like to talk to their people, and if you're around, she's definitely going to let you know that she's also there. So if you're interested in a very unique senior cat, then you can come in and visit with Cadia here at Frederick County Animal Control. We hope that you've enjoyed meeting some of our golden girls today on the show. There are far more cats to choose from. As I mentioned earlier, there's approximately 40 cats looking for forever homes right now. So if you didn't see something that you're interested in, stop by and visit with us, and maybe that will be when you find the right pet for you.